History is a myth, and it's written in a more dignified manner. If actual history were written, all mankind would blush in shame for themselves. But the world without history would be like man without a memory. Even the most recent historical events are informed by a myth. I mean, even when you strip away the layers of propaganda and deliberate distortion, there are persuasive narratives underneath it that color our experience of every key moment in history. But there are some that honor the mythic dimension of history on a whole different level. These are those that conjure the myth, sometimes with the intention of exercising it. And the result is often synthesis, a new relationship to written history that is not unquestioned acceptance of the myth, but neither is it total supplanting of the myth. But it's given to evoke and subvert prevailing narratives by engaging in them. In a nutshell, governments and bureaucrats, for example, decide, how do I want this story to look in the future? How do I want it to start? And which text can I use in case the first chapter has a bad ending? They'll have many chapters in hand for chapter 2 to be supplanted to direct her or his story. And they'll navigate this story to have good faith and believability to at least hold true long enough to accomplish the outcome at hand. If found out later to be false, it's too late for anyone to turn back and do over. Game, set, match. So let's talk about what's going on in Haiti in the first chapter and how we got to this point. Which book shall we read from, since they're all a little different? How about we start and end with Toussaint Louverture, aka the Black Napoleon, who was the Haitian general and leader of the Haitian Revolution. Toussaint Louverture is thought to have been born enslaved around 1739 to 1746. Many people know about Napoleon of France, Napoleon Bonaparte. And in 1801, he sent a massive expedition to the French colony of Saint Dominique, today known as Haiti. His goal was to restore direct French rule and overthrow Black Napoleon, Toussaint Louverture, who was at that time governor of Saint Domingue and had been suspected of plotting independence. Said one book. Another book has said his goal was to remove the Black Napoleon, Louverture, and restore slavery once again. Both books, however, do end in saying within 2 years, the remnants of Bonaparte's once proud army were evacuated and defeated by Black Napoleon, Louverture. And Haiti declared its independence. Both books say that. Haiti was the first nation to permanently ban slavery. But as a nation of freed black slaves, Haiti was a threat to the whole global world order at the time. Then the well-known liberal Democrat, Thomas Jefferson, worked very hard to isolate Haiti diplomatically and strangle it economically. Books say that Thomas Jefferson was in fear that the success of Haiti would inspire slaves to revolt back home in the United States. How strong and proud of a country Haiti was, and I believe still is, regardless of the smear campaigns that are seen on legacy media. But it's going through another tough season of turmoil, to say the least. Much like Thomas Jefferson, the United States had a Bill and Hillary Clinton, who also have been said to have feared Haiti's success. But they also knew Haiti's success could be exploited. And as far as the left liberals have always done, they've implanted puppets and wrote egregious laws in languages that even writers don't fully understand, but they're written and designed in a way that can exfoliate the narratives and objectives of the laws to suit their interests without them having to even adhere to them themselves. Try reading a new statute or law these days that comes out of Congress or Senate from the United States, and you'll understand what I'm saying here, but you won't understand fully what you're reading in their text. It's written that way on purpose. But the most effective and useful and tempting way that they want to trap people into bondage of their laws is to loan you money that they don't have to work for. They just print it. And as the good book says, the borrower becomes a slave to the lender. Don't feel bad, Haiti, or Africa, or India, or any other country that is borrowing money from the United States. The United States does this to its own people. It's nothing personal. It's all just for easy access of power and control. Now let's get into this new chapter of Haiti, shall we? Let's start off with barbecue. I'm not going to paint him to be a villain as the legacy media, mainstream media is putting him out to be. If I can recall correctly, it's not that long ago. A man named Gaddafi and a guy named Saddam Hussein were also villains of the past. Only to have a new chapter of the book revealed to us that didn't sound quite like the one the media indoctrinated people with long ago. Not that long ago. It's no wonder they want to censor open forums online. God forbid we get the real videos and data from people who are undergoing the events that are taking place, and double damn if we hear both sides of the story and make our own decisions on who we think might be right or wrong. Triple damn if we get this data in real time. That would take away the government's power to lie. And they've lied and stolen so long to obtain the power that they've got. That's their playbook. So barbecue, from just a personal standpoint and from what I'm seeing, is fighting against a once again installed puppet leadership of the West. And he looks to be trying to take Haiti back and give it to its sole owners. I think his idea and his reasonings have good intentions, but I think his tactics and long-term game plan really sucks. If we take a recent look at history coups that we've seen in real time, we look at Africa. Just last year, 2023, take Burkina Faso and Niger, for example, who pulled coups off with much more thought and planning behind their efforts and almost overnight had new leadership running the show. We see a huge difference between Haiti's streets on fire and civilians being shot at, people running in the streets with kids crying and taking shelter. Nothing at all like Africa's skillful and concise, downright brilliant ways of overthrowing an imperialistic colonizers and having a playbook installed before anyone could even make up a good story about how crazy and careless they were with democracy. Africa has literally won World War III without firing a single shot. And France and the United States militaries of the West, and European countries, colonization countries, they're all packing their bags and headed back home. The puppets of the West are being overthrown everywhere you look. What do you say about that? It's just my opinion. And I'm not saying just because Haiti's graphics are harder to watch, that barbecue and those in the resistance are wrong. I'm just saying they need to get their act together before one chapter is written and they look to have done what they've done in bad faith. Or part two, they did it in vain. How quick can they run the election? Or at least supplant their own authorities to start bringing forth a change for their country before the West has a plan to bring in an army. In chapter 2. Now the Kenyans are thinking about going into Haiti with armed personnel and taming the gangs. But maybe Traore of Burkina Faso could go in with a handshake and a game plan and help the Haitians accomplish what Burkina Faso has been able to do so well in Niger and those other similar countries in the region of Africa. Again, this is just an opinion about history and myths, but now we're living in a time where we have present myths, stories that are being made up right in front of our faces. And as the story unfolds, we get facts and inner workings of the story. Then you have a story worth its weight in truth. And the truth is what's going to set you free. So as we're all watching the news, and a podcast here and a podcast there, and saying things way before we know the truth, I think we're doing a disservice to Haiti. I think we're doing a disservice to the world when we do things like this. What say you?